Ciao, fellow travelers. It's your trusty guide, VoyageVault, back with another exciting adventure. Today, we're diving into the heart of the Mediterranean, exploring the land of pasta, pizza, and Pisa, the one and only Italy. From the ancient ruins of Rome to the picturesque canals of Venice, Italy is a country that captures the hearts of millions of visitors every year. So, grab your gelato and get ready to embark on a virtual journey through the top 10 tourist attractions in Italy that will make you say Mamma Mia. Let's get this Italian party started. First on our list is the iconic Colosseum in Rome. Built nearly 2,000 years ago, this massive amphitheater is a testament to the ingenuity and grandeur of the Roman Empire. Just imagine the roar of the crowds as gladiators fought for their lives on the arena floor, while emperors and nobles watched from the stands above. But the Colosseum isn't just a relic of the past, it's also a symbol of the enduring spirit of Rome. Despite being damaged by earthquakes, fires, and even vandalism over the centuries, the Colosseum still stands tall today, welcoming millions of visitors every year. And let's be real, no trip to Rome is complete without a selfie in front of this ancient wonder. Just be prepared to battle the crowds and the heat, and maybe a few gladiators, to get that perfect shot. But the Colosseum isn't just a pretty facade, it's also a fascinating glimpse into the history and culture of ancient Rome. Take a guided tour and learn about the complex system of underground tunnels and chambers that housed the gladiators and animals before the games began. Or climb to the upper levels and marvel at the stunning views of the city sprawling out before you. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even sign up for a gladiator training session and learn how to wield a sword like a true warrior. Just don't blame us if you end up in the arena facing off against a lion or a horde of tourists. Next up, we're heading to the smallest country in the world, Vatican City. Located right in the heart of Rome, this tiny city-state is home to some of the most incredible art, architecture, and religious artifacts in the world. First on your Vatican bucket list should be St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world and the spiritual center of the Catholic faith. Step inside and prepare to be blown away by the sheer scale and beauty of this stunning church, from the soaring dome overhead to the intricate mosaics and sculptures that adorn every surface. But the real star of the Vatican show is the Sistine Chapel, home to Michelangelo's famous frescoes depicting scenes from the Bible. Crane your neck and gaze up at the ceiling, where you'll see the iconic image of God reaching out to touch Adam's finger. Just try not to get a crick in your neck from staring up at the ceiling for too long. Trust us, it's worth it. And if you're an art lover, you won't want to miss the Vatican Museums, home to an incredible collection of ancient Roman and Renaissance art. Wander through the halls and marvel at masterpieces by the likes of Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and Caravaggio. But the Vatican isn't just about art and religion, it's also a fascinating glimpse into the history and politics of this tiny city-state. Take a guided tour and learn about the role of the Pope and the Swiss Guard in maintaining the independence and security of the Vatican. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of the Pope himself during his weekly audience in St. Peter's Square. Just don't try to snap a selfie with him, the Swiss Guard might have something to say about that. If you're a history buff, then you won't want to miss our next stop on the Italy tour, the ancient city of Pompeii. Located just a short train ride from Naples, this once thriving Roman city was buried under a thick layer of volcanic ash when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. But here's the incredible part, the ash actually preserved much of the city, giving us a fascinating glimpse into daily life in ancient Rome. As you wander through the streets and buildings of Pompeii, you'll feel like you've stepped back in time to a world of bustling markets, grand villas, and public baths. One of the most striking things about Pompeii is the level of detail that has been preserved. From the intricate mosaics and frescoes that decorate the walls of the villas to the graffiti and advertisements that line the streets, every corner of the city has a story to tell. And speaking of stories, be sure to check out the famous Garden of the Fugitives, where you can see the haunting plaster casts of Pompeii's residents who were caught in the eruption. It's a sobering reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. But Pompeii isn't just a somber reminder of the past, it's also a vibrant and fascinating destination in its own right. Take a guided tour and learn about the latest archaeological discoveries and theories about life in ancient Pompeii. Or simply wander through the streets and let your imagination run wild as you picture yourself as a wealthy Roman merchant or a gladiator training for battle. And when you're ready for a break from all that history, head to the nearby city of Naples for some of the best pizza in the world. Trust us, after a day of exploring Pompeii, you've earned it. Next up on our Italy adventure, we're heading to the city of Pisa to check out one of the most famous and most photographed landmarks in the world, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now, we know what you're thinking, isn't the Leaning Tower just a big, tilted building? And sure, on the surface, that's exactly what it is. But the story behind this iconic tower is actually pretty fascinating. Construction on the tower began way back in 1173, but by the time the builders reached the third floor, the tower had already started to sink into the soft soil beneath it. Over the next few centuries, various architects and engineers tried to correct the lean by building the upper floors at a slight angle, but the tower just kept on tilting. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the tower was in serious danger of collapsing altogether. But thanks to some clever engineering and a lot of hard work, the tower was stabilized and even straightened slightly, ensuring that it will continue to lean for generations to come. But enough about the history, let's talk about the real reason you're here, the photo ops. No trip to Pisa is complete without the obligatory holding up the tower shot, and trust us, you won't be the only one striking a pose. Just be prepared to dodge the hordes of other tourists trying to get the perfect angle. And when you're done snapping selfies, be sure to take a stroll through the Piazza dei Miracoli, the stunning square that surrounds the tower. With its lush green lawns, white marble buildings, and stunning cathedral, it's the perfect place to relax and soak up some Italian sunshine. If you're looking for a slice of Italian paradise, then look no further than the Amalfi Coast. This stunning stretch of coastline, located just south of Naples, is a favorite destination for jet-setters, honeymooners, and anyone who appreciates breathtaking views and delicious seafood. The Amalfi Coast is made up of a string of picturesque towns and villages, each with its own unique charm and character. From the colorful houses and lemon groves of Positano to the medieval churches and cliffside gardens of Ravello, every corner of this region is postcard perfect. One of the best ways to experience the Amalfi Coast is by boat. Hire a private charter or hop on a public ferry and spend the day cruising along the coast, stopping at hidden beaches and secluded coves along the way. And be sure to bring your camera. The views of the rugged coastline and shimmering Mediterranean Sea are simply breathtaking. But the Amalfi Coast isn't just about natural beauty, it's also a foodie's paradise. From fresh seafood pasta dishes to creamy gelato and zesty limoncello, the cuisine of this region is simply divine. Be sure to try the famous spaghetti alla vermouth, spaghetti with clams, and the sfogliatella, a flaky pastry filled with sweet ricotta cheese. And when you're ready to work off all that delicious food, the Amalfi Coast offers plenty of opportunities for outdoor adventure. Hike the famous Path of the Gods Trail for stunning views of the coast, or take a dip in the crystal-clear waters of the Mediterranean. But perhaps the best thing about the Amalfi Coast is the laid-back, dolce vita lifestyle that permeates every aspect of life here. From the friendly locals to the slow pace of life, this region is the perfect place to relax, unwind, and soak up the very best of Italian culture. Next up on our Italy tour, we're heading to the stunning city of Florence to check out one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, the Florence Cathedral, also known as the Duomo. This massive cathedral, with its distinctive red-tiled dome and intricate marble facade, is a true masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Construction on the cathedral began way back in 1296, but it wasn't until the famous architect Filippo Brunelleschi came along in the 15th century that the iconic dome was added. And let us tell you, that dome is a true feat of engineering. Spanning over 140 feet in diameter and rising over 300 feet above the ground, it's the largest masonry dome in the world. And the best part? You can climb to the top of the dome for some of the most incredible views of Florence and the surrounding Tuscan countryside. But the Florence Cathedral isn't just a pretty facade, it's also home to some truly incredible works of art. Step inside and marvel at the intricate mosaics, stunning frescoes, and beautiful stained glass windows that adorn every surface of the cathedral. And if you're feeling particularly adventurous, you can even climb the 463 steps to the top of the bell tower for even more breathtaking views of the city. Just be prepared for a serious leg workout. But perhaps the most impressive thing about the Florence Cathedral is the way it seems to dominate the skyline of Florence. No matter where you are in the city, you can't miss the towering dome and the stunning white, pink, and green marble facade. Ah, Venice, the floating city of love, gondolas, and gelato. And of course, no trip to Venice would be complete without a leisurely cruise down the city's famous canals. The Venice canals are a true marvel of engineering and urban planning. With over 150 canals winding their way through the city, connected by more than 400 bridges, the canals are the lifeblood of Venice. They serve as the city's main transportation network, carrying everything from groceries to tourists to construction materials. But let's be real, the real reason to take a gondola ride down the Venice canals is for the romance and the photo ops. There's just something about gliding through the narrow, winding canals, passing under ancient bridges and past stunning palazzos, that feels like something out of a fairy tale. And if you're lucky, you might even be serenaded by your gondolier as you float along. Just don't expect them to sound like Pavarotti, these guys are more like the karaoke version. But the Venice canals aren't just a tourist attraction, they're also a fascinating glimpse into the history and culture of this unique city. Take a guided tour and learn about the role of the canals in the city's trade and commerce, or simply wander along the narrow streets and alleyways that line the canals and soak up the atmosphere. And of course, no trip to Venice would be complete without a little shopping and a lot of gelato. The city is famous for its intricate Murano glass, delicate lace, and of course, its creamy, delicious gelato. Just don't blame us if you end up with a serious case of brain freeze. Next up on our Italy tour, we're heading to the stunning Lake Como, located in the heart of the Italian Alps. This breathtaking lake, surrounded by towering mountains and dotted with charming villages and luxurious villas, is a favorite destination for celebrities, royalty, and anyone who appreciates natural beauty and la dolce vita. One of the best ways to experience Lake Como is by boat. Hire a private charter or hop on a public ferry and spend the day cruising along the lake, stopping at picturesque towns like Bellagio and Varenna along the way. And be sure to bring your camera. The views of the sparkling blue water and the lush green hillsides are simply breathtaking. But Lake Como isn't just about the scenery, it's also a foodie's paradise. The region is famous for its delicious cuisine, from hearty risottos and polenta dishes to fresh fish and locally produced cheeses and meats. And of course, no meal in Lake Como would be complete without a glass, or two, of the region's famous wines. And when you're ready to work off all that delicious food, Lake Como offers plenty of opportunities for outdoor adventure. Hike the nearby mountains for stunning views of the lake, or take a dip in the crystal-clear waters on a hot summer day. But perhaps the best thing about Lake Como is the sense of peace and tranquility that pervades every corner of this stunning region. From the gentle lapping of the water against the shore to the soft chirping of birds in the trees, Lake Como is the perfect place to relax, unwind, and soak up the very best of Italian culture. If you're looking for a true slice of Italian paradise, then look no further than the Cinque Terre. This stunning stretch of coastline, located in the region of Liguria, is made up of 5 picturesque villages perched on rugged cliffs overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. The Cinque Terre is a hiker's paradise, with a network of stunning trails connecting the 5 villages. The most famous of these trails is the Sentiero Azzurro, or Blue Trail, which winds its way along the coast, offering breathtaking views of the sea and the colorful houses clinging to the cliffs. But the Cinque Terre isn't just about hiking, it's also a foodie's dream come true. The region is famous for its delicious seafood, from fresh anchovies and sardines to hearty fish stews and pastas. And of course, No meal in the Cinque Terre would be complete without a glass of the region's famous wine, Sciacetra, a sweet dessert wine made from dried grapes. But perhaps the best thing about the Cinque Terre is the sense of timelessness that pervades every corner of this stunning region. From the ancient stone walls and winding streets of the villages to the rugged beauty of the coastline, the Cinque Terre feels like a place that has been frozen in time. And let's be real, with views like these, who needs modern amenities? The Cinque Terre is the perfect place to disconnect from the world and reconnect with nature, with yourself, and with the simple pleasures of life. Last but certainly not least on our tour of Italy's top tourist attractions is the iconic Trevi Fountain in Rome. This stunning Baroque fountain, located in the heart of the city, is one of the most famous and most beloved landmarks in all of Italy. The Trevi Fountain is a true masterpiece of art and engineering. Designed by the famous Italian architect Nicola Salvi in the 18th century, the fountain features a central figure of Okeanos, the god of the sea, surrounded by tritons and seahorses. The water cascades down from a series of rocky outcrops, creating a mesmerizing display of light and sound. But the Trevi Fountain isn't just a pretty face, it's also steeped in legend and tradition. According to local law, if you toss a coin over your left shoulder into the fountain, you're guaranteed to return to Rome one day. And judging by the estimated €3,000 that are thrown into the fountain every day, it seems like a lot of people are hoping to make that return trip. But the Trevi Fountain isn't just a tourist attraction, it's also a beloved symbol of Rome itself. The fountain has appeared in countless films and TV shows over the years, from La Dolce Vita to the Lizzie McGuire movie, Hey, We're Not Judging. And for many visitors, a trip to Rome simply isn't complete without a visit to the Trevi Fountain. So, what's the best way to experience this iconic landmark? Well, we recommend visiting early in the morning or late at night, when the crowds are thinner and the fountain is illuminated in all its glory. And of course, don't forget to toss a coin into the water and make a wish. Who knows, maybe you'll be back in Rome sooner than you think. And there you have it, folks, our top 10 tourist attractions in Italy. From the ancient ruins of Rome to the stunning coastlines of the Cinque Terre, Italy is a country that truly has it all. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your Italian adventure today. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips, tricks, and inspiration. And be sure to leave us a comment below letting us know which Italian attraction is at the top of your bucket list. Ciao for now and happy travels.